Why is Palantir moving so fast with AI while so many other companies are only just getting started? And why is Palantir's technology sometimes so hard for people to understand? Today, I'm going to show you one of the secrets to Palantir's AI success and the real reason why Palantir sometimes faces a tough fight to get their powerful tools into new companies. I'm going to break down this amazing conversation with some Palantir experts. We'll learn about Palantir's crisis-born origin story and how new AI has made their platform 10 times more valuable, and why adopting Palantir's technology isn't just a tech fight, but a political fight too. Let's get into it.
I founded a tech company all in on Palantir. And the impetus for that all in was, again, alignment of mission. Folks forget that Palantir was born out of crisis, where we had the attacks of September 11th, looking for the proverbial needle in a haystack of haystacks. And with Sham and Aki and others, the solution that the PayPal mafia brought to that challenge was the ontology.
This is such an important place to start. We're reminded that Palantir wasn't created in a dorm room just to make money. It was born out of a national crisis, the attacks on 9/11. Palantir was trying to solve one of the hardest problems in the world, finding the needle in the haystack of data to keep people safe. Palantir's unique answer to that huge problem was the ontology. This tells you from day one that technology wasn't just a cool idea, it was a solution forged in a crisis to solve a real life or death problem. That mission is still core to Palantir's DNA to this day.
I was intentional with my words on digital transformation because that is Palantir's contribution to that problem space, right? And I do think that's a differentiator in the digital transformation landscape, where I can take whatever that process is, data-driven decision-making, supply chain, fintech, you name it, and model that out as code, and I can measure the performance of it, place that under iterative development. And so I do think that remains a differentiator in terms of platform. Now, what excites me the most, and where why I'm less Pollyannish on the whole hype cycle, is if I apply large language models to an ontology in a way that allows me to do all of those same functions, right? Where I can measure, have some transparency, normalize, do all of those things that get after that transformative piece, then heck yeah, I'm excited, right? That part gives me hope that large language models are going to get after a really hard problem that we don't have, that I don't think we've optimized the solution for.
LLMs have made what was in Foundry 10 times more valuable, right? Because
100%, 100%.
yeah,
This is the secret sauce as to why Palantir is getting such amazing real-world results with AI right now. It's just been explained perfectly. For 20 years, Palantir has been building an amazing foundation, the ontology, which is like a perfect digital map of a business. Now, new AI technology like LLMs has arrived. For most companies, this new AI is powerful, but doesn't necessarily have real direction. But for Palantir, it's like adding a massive turbocharger to an already perfectly built race car. The foundation Palantir has already built makes the new AI 10 times more valuable. That's why Palantir is getting success stories with companies like American Airlines so much faster than anyone else. Quick plug, YouTube isn't just entertainment, it's one of the best client acquisition tools right now because it builds trust at scale. We've helped businesses grow from scratch to $100,000 months using a YouTube channel by just showing up in videos for your company's business in the right way. If you own a business, book a call below and let's see if we can figure out how YouTube could work for you. Back to the video.
it's like Palantir has this amazing foundation in which they figured out through trial and error and a lot of innovation that by creating the ontology, they created a set. It's not only the state of the world, but also the behaviors that the world can engage in, and they can make that accessible to people in the field and like actually bring field ops into data-driven decision making, and it was, literally accessible to those people, right? That's huge. And with LLMs, what's happening now is you can make all of that 10 times more efficient, 10 times better, 10 times more decisioning and actioning than we ever could before. And it's why they've been so fast out of the gate, in my opinion, with like actual success stories. AI Pecan 8 just dropped today. I watched a few of the keynotes early, and it's just story after story. American Airlines was really compelling in how they're using this to drive flight operations. I think it's just people have been slow to really embrace Palantir. I think all these, startups, whether it's Databricks, Palantir, Snowflake, they have big challenges against the incumbents and entrenched technologies and stuff. We talk a lot about this on the show. And I think one of the biggest things that they face is a structural impediment that exists in enterprises. And that structural impediment is typically centralization of IT. And they don't have this ability to create distributed teams that are meant to go out there and solve problems in the real world. So but you're right. You're spot on. Ontology was the thing, as Palantir's contribution, as you put it, to digital transformation, Pat, and that now is just more valuable because LLMs can be a participant in that ecosystem, helping guide operations.
I'm really passionate here, right? Been in this space for a very, very, very long time. If we go back again to the Palantir origin story, they were venture backed by InQtel. I've been a Palantir partner. I was one of the original 6 partner companies. I've been a partner for them for 15 years. But if you ask my mom what it is Palantir or I do every day, no clue, right? And it's not for my lack of trying, right? But I think there is the reality of the technology and then the perception of the technology. And so I think that becomes challenging too in a clickbaity, hype, overhyped environment. And so really that was during my follow-up. And sorry to interrupt, Connor.
No, I mean, if you want to know what Palantir is, they have a whole blog on blog series of like what is Palantir and how it's not a data company, it's a technology platform. But even the nuance there, right, is for the lay population, they're not going to understand that. So it's difficult to get the messaging across, and then the misconceptions of the platform itself continue to perverse the conversations with potential customers, existing customers. And then, like Dorian said, when you have a platform that allows you to attack a structural issue inside most modern enterprises, you better be ready for a fight, because you're talking about people's power that they hold inside of an organization, whether that's in the public sector or private sector. So it's a political fight that you need to be willing to have.
Yeah.
Not only a technology fight that you need to be ready for.
This point is so honest and so important. Why is it sometimes hard for Palantir to get its software into a new company? Because their software is too powerful and too different. They just explain that you have to be ready for a fight. Palantir's platform often changes how a company works. It gives power to people on the front lines who are solving real problems instead of keeping all the power in a central IT office. This can be scary for some managers who are used to the old ways of doing things. It shows that Palantir isn't just selling software, they're selling a new, better way of working, and changing the old ways is often a tough fight. Palantir's 20-year foundation, the ontology, and new AI making them more powerful has given them a huge head start. Their technology is so different that it often leads to a fight inside companies that are stuck in their own ways. But Palantir's success comes from a deep, crisis-tested foundation, and their biggest challenge is often not the technology itself, but changing the way people and companies think about work. If you found this video of value, go and check out CodeStrap, the origin to this interview clip, and why not consider hitting subscribe. Cheers.